Hello and welcome to the weekly from Timely Coffees. My name's Seb, I'm one of the co-founders here, and this is a video series we use to talk about coffees we have coming out over the next 7 days, specifically about coffees we're sending out to subscribers. So if you're a subscriber with Timely, the coffee you'll be receiving is Maira, Solis, Uren. So this is a coffee that comes out of Costa Rica, and one of the really interesting things about Costa Rica is that this is one of the parts of the world where they have a really good understanding of processing coffees using water, but also using dry fermentations and combinations of those two fermentation techniques. So a few years ago, there was a lot of drought in Costa Rica, and some parts of Costa Rica actually couldn't get enough water to process their coffee in a traditionally like a washed method that they would have done previously. So this meant that a lot of producers in Costa Rica had to experiment with different types of processing and see kind of how they could utilize kind of the dry fermentation method and really still get coffee that was really clean and really sweet and still, in keeping with what they understand or they believe Costa Rican coffee should taste like. So as a part of that, they ended up with some really interesting fermentation styles, and they actually continue to process in those ways today. So they ended up adopting a lot of this dry fermentation technique, and now pretty much all coffee out of Costa Rica is considered to be, there's a lot of honey coffee, which means that, it was fermented with a little bit of fruit left on. There's a lot of natural coffee, which means that all the fruit was left on during fermentation. And, a lot of the fermentation methods they're using have little to no water. And so this is obviously a generalization, and no generalization is going to be true at all times. But we're noticing a definite trend that over the last few years, almost all of the coffee has had in part, at least one step in the process has been dry and without water. So it's just really interesting to see how some parts of the world are kind of adapting to different challenges they're facing, and then using a lot of those things that they're learning in their kind of processing and their coffee quality moving forward long term. So this is the coffee you'll be receiving this week. If you are not a subscriber, but you want to become one, then you can sign up, and your first installment is always free. So this will be your free first installment with Timely. And don't forget, you can get it ground, whole beans, ground specifically for your brew device as well. So anything you need, you can just put it into your notes and into the order, and we'll send it out to you like that. And next week we'll have another Timely weekly, and then we've got another video coming out later this week as well. So that's all I got this week, but I'll see you next time.